What's up, guys? James Vick here. Just got this microphone, figured I would start talking on some different subjects. I'm transitioning right now from less fighting into more coaching and just giving my fighters a lot of feedback. They ask good questions and just different stuff that I've dealt with over the years. I really try to explain to them and tell them why you should do this, why you shouldn't do that. Just stuff from all my experience over the years. So one of the questions I got asked recently was how you deal with an injury. And injuries, honestly, guys, injuries are not an easy one. They're never easy to deal with. It's a mindset thing for sure, because you want to train hard, you want to do more, and your body won't let you. You're injured. You just can't train. And you kind of go out of your mind, you know. A lot of people say they stay in the gym so they stay motivated even if they're injured. I kind of took the opposite philosophy. When I would get injured, I would take time completely away. I would stay gone. And injury's a rough one because some people get a lot of injuries. Some athletes get a lot of injuries and some don't. I've had five major surgeries. So, but I know guys or girls that I've trained with that haven't got injured, that have never had one surgery, fortunately. So it's a lot of it, is body type and, training partners and stuff like that. If your training partners are safe and more controlled and know what they're doing versus someone who's wild or inexperienced. There's a lot of, factors lead up to injury, but when it happens, it's a very hard one, guys. It's a hard one to deal with. The main thing I like stepping away from the gym, from my experience, so I wouldn't be in there and try to risk getting injured further. But also, I feel like a lot of injuries can be worked around. You just have to learn technique. I feel like when you get injured, if your injury is not so bad that you have to stay away from the gym, then I feel like if you can go to the gym and do something, your technique should be just phenomenal, at least on the few things you drill. Like if you have a serious injury, like I have a student of mine right now that just broke his hand recently, and I have him drilling on my grappling dummy. He can't roll live, can't do any boxing. He's doing a bunch of kicks and he's doing a bunch of grappling drills. And I have him on my grappling dummy doing a head norm triangle and a basic armbar to Kimura setup, or Kimura to armbar setup. And by the time he's done with this 6 weeks to 8 weeks he's going to have with his broken hand, being in a cast and everything, I think he's going to be shocked how good he is at those three moves that we're doing. A lot of it is just repeated drilling. Your technique should be phenomenal if you get injured, and there's still something you can do in the areas you choose to work or can work with. So it's not always a bad thing. Sometimes if the injury's, obviously breaking your hand is a bad injury, but if it's something smaller, it could help you progress in another area. So that mindset of there's always something you can do and work on will help for sure to get through it. But it's tough, guys. Getting injured is a very tough situation, because some injuries may take 6-8 months to heal. If you have a surgery on a shoulder, your knee. I had shoulder surgery. My first one was in 2007, only 3 months after I started boxing, and I had surgery, and apparently the surgeon didn't do a very good job, so I had to go back 5 years later and get another surgery done. And the second surgeon said that the first one, if he would have did his job, I wouldn't have been in the situation I was in to begin with, to even have to have the second surgery. But it was rough. It was rough. Almost every time I got injured for a long time period, I felt like my career was, again, I was never going to be able to fight again. It was just, you have crazy thoughts in your head, and it sucked. But then after a few of them, as bad as it sounds, after a few of them, I kind of knew what to expect and how to adjust. But definitely it's hard, and especially the earlier ones. But a lot of guys just don't make it through, A lot of guys I seen a video the other day, actually, someone talking about what happens when people get injured a lot. They occupy that time. If you were spending 2 hours at the gym every day and you're out for 6 months, well, that 2 hours is going somewhere else. They're doing some activity or they're doing something else, and then they start liking it, and then they don't have the interest in fighting. That happens a lot. And I would also say, not to be too negative, but a lot of people just aren't mentally strong enough. They can't handle it. I know people that it's like when people lose fights, they quit fighting sometimes as well. some people just can't mentally get over the injury, and they just can't they can't mentally handle, you know, having to come back and fight through injuries and deal with and watch their teammates progress. That's a big one. If you take 6 months off and your teammates you may be beating might be better than you by the time you come back, if they're consistently in the gym progressing and y'all started, you know, similar time periods and everything. So it's a lot of mental stuff, but it can be dealt with. I would say if the injury is too bad that you can't train at all, I wouldn't go and set the gym every day. And yes, you can watch, you can learn. I get it. There's benefits to it. But if you can't train at all and you don't want to put yourself in a position where you're going to have the urge to rush and come back and injure yourself even worse, just stay out of the gym. Stay out of the gym. Still watch fighting. I would say watch a lot of fighting instead of that 2 hours a day that you're spending time on, you were spending it on training. Don't supplement it for something else and then kind of lose your love. Just watch fighting for those 2 hours a day. There's always something you can do, you know. But if the injury is not too bad, then I would say go ahead, and if the injury is not too bad and there's something you can do, have your coach give you stuff that you can do that is non-resistant, doesn't hurt your body on whatever injury is, and work around and whatever techniques you're drilling should be able to be done perfect, and just thousands of reps in that time period that you're experiencing the injury. But yeah, guys, just stay strong when you have an injury. Tough times don't last. Tough people do. Fill your new free time with something productive and get out there. And if you get injured, shake it off and come back. Martial arts is a journey, you know, that you're a martial artist your whole life. So I believe everybody should train martial arts. You shouldn't quit, even if you can only go once a week. Go once a week. It's still better than nothing at all. So yeah, guys, this is my first little video. If you could, in the comments, leave some subjects you'd like me to talk upon my experiences fighting, boxing, MMA, kickboxing, karate combat now. I did a lot of different martial arts and trained a lot of different places. So let me know any questions you have.